Hi, I retired early and walked away from a job that I truly did love, and I did it all so that I could spend 50% of my time living on cruise ships. Now, I get asked a lot, do you regret retiring early and walking away from everything? So in today's video, I'm gonna give you the honest truth. I'm gonna tell you why I did it, what I've gotten out of it, what has been surprising to me or challenging, and honestly, if I had to do all over again. So let's get into it. When I retired at 58, it wasn't because I was burned out or I hated my job. Far from it. I have loved working for the same company for over 30 years. I rotated all around the company, and honestly, my last role with that company truly was my dream job. I worked with an incredible team and in a role that I absolutely loved. So this was not an easy or spur of the moment decision to walk away from all that. Actually, I gave my work a year notice. So it's definitely something that my husband and I both talked over, we thought about it, and I decided to go ahead and retire at 58, even though my husband wasn't able to retire for another 2 years. It was just time. I was ready to take that leap. I absolutely love sailing and cruising, so I knew that if I didn't do now, when would I do it? So the kids were out of school, off our payroll, out on their own, and we had saved up and planned for retirement, an early retirement. It's just I kind of jumped the gun and went a couple of years early. So, but I truly believe that you need to have these life experiences while you're able to do it. So that was the whole reason why I knew I was just I was ready to just explore my passion of cruising. So that's what I did. I just did it and immediately just started cruising literally 50% of the time. So I will be gone 2 to 3 weeks and then I'm home 2 to 3 weeks. And I just would bounce back and forth over the last year and a half. So it's been wonderful and I have enjoyed it. But there's also been a few learnings from this, there's a couple of things I hadn't realized or thought about, as well as there's been some positives that I didn't even realize that I would get out of this. So in this video, I'm gonna kind of go over it all for you, go over how many cruises I have done in this last year and a half in retirement and how I've done it. So that's kind of like the next question I get from people is, how in the world are you able to do all this cruising? And I'll be quite honest, I've done 33 cruises and they've all been on casino comps. So that's what's really made the decision to go ahead and retire a little sooner than I had planned, because I knew that I could leverage all of these casino comp offers that I've been getting and be able to travel so much for so little. So that's truly what made the decision to go earlier. So, and it has honestly had some hidden perks to it, in that I am honestly healthier now than I was when I was working. I was working a lot of hours and stress, and it's just amazing that once you kind of step away from that and are in a relaxing environment, being active, doing the things that you love, it's just healthier. I'm off my high cholesterol, I'm off my blood pressure medicine, I've dropped 50 pounds. I mean, all of these have been some surprising benefits of retiring early. So that part has been great. So now let's kind of talk about a few of the surprising or challenging things that I've ran into. Before we get into the challenging part of retiring early so that you can cruise, let's talk about the surprising. One of the surprising things is that when I made that switch from working full-time to just being retired and cruising, I never had that period of being like a fish out of water or feeling lost like a lot of retirees talk about when they first stop working, because I literally just rolled straight into cruising 50% of the time. So I immediately had something to focus on and start working on, because when you live on a cruise ship 50% of the time, it takes a lot of planning for all your travel arrangements, the different bookings, keeping all this straight. So I still got to use my spreadsheets that I love, that I used all the time at work. I'm just now using it for travel. So that was, a surprising thing, because I really did think that I might struggle when I first retired, just from, being in corporate finance all these years to being retired. I really thought I'd have a bigger adjustment. And I don't, even though I loved the folks I worked with, I don't miss working at all. So I have, stayed so busy. So that was not an issue. Another surprising thing is that because I retired before my husband, I knew that I would be traveling a lot solo. And I really thought I might have an issue with being lonely and not having people with me when I did that many solo cruises. I did 22 solo cruises out of the 33 cruises I've done in the last year and a half. But you know what? I never have felt lonely. The cruising community, oh my gosh, I've met more great people in my adventures. So whether that's my dinner mates that I meet at the dining room, that we've gotten along and made good friendships. I've met people through the Facebook groups, just people that I've met up just having conversations on the ship. We find out we have a lot in common, and guess what? I have a travel buddy the rest of the cruise. So I have met some amazing folks, and a lot of them, especially if you're watching this, hi. And if I've missed a few in these photos, please don't get mad at me. I tried to grab some photos of just a few of the many wonderful people that I've met cruising. So if you've ever thought about cruising solo and been hesitant because you thought you wouldn't, have anybody to talk with or socialize, that's not true. I mean, oh my gosh, it's been wonderful. You can be basically as busy as you want on a cruise ship or as not busy as you want. So you basically have that freedom to do whatever you want. So that is what I love about cruising, but it's a great community. Met wonderful people. So that was a nice surprise in that I really thought it would be a little more lonely traveling solo that much. So that has been wonderful. So like I said, I've done 33 cruises since I retired. Here's a recap that we'll go over of the 33 that I've done. And then after that, we're going to talk about what some of the challenging things have been about it. And ultimately, do I regret doing it? So let's move on to the spreadsheet. First, I want to do a quick shout out to all the new subscribers. I appreciate it so much. Here is a quick recap of the 33 cruises that I've done since I retired. 16 were on Carnival for 130 nights. Royal Caribbean was next with 8 cruises and 44 nights. I did a Virgin Voyages cruise and a Norwegian cruise. I did 3 Princess cruises, 2 on Celebrity, and 2 on MSC. So 33 cruises for 242 nights total, and that's just since I retired. So all of these were casino comps, mainly all balconies. I had a couple of suites in there, and I only did 1 ocean view. All the rest, like I said, were balcony or higher. And again, they're all casino comps, so a lot of them come with free play, drinks either everywhere on the ship or in the casino, as well as some other nice perks. So I also kind of recapped my casino experiences for each of the brands. Carnival definitely is the largest casinos at sea, but they are very crowded. They do have a few that have separated non-smoking areas, which is very nice. I do like on their offers. You can book up to 3 cruises per casino offer, which is nice. And they also have some nice benefits and onboard comps that they offer. Royal Caribbean is adding more and more non-smoking casino rooms, which is a good sign. And they also have a very low point needed to be able to earn future cruises. Virgin, they are small casinos, but they have started adding in a separate high limit room, which is nice. And they've had some great hosts. Norwegian has some good-sized casinos, but they did not seem to give away very many comps on board. Princess, they are generous with their onboard comps, similar to Carnival, and they also are very generous with their free play. Celebrity is unique in that they do free drinks in the casino for all players, and they are non-smoking. I have not had a lot of luck on them. I don't know if they're tighter or if it's just me, but they do have a low point value needed to earn a free future cruise, which is awesome. And then MSC is unique in that they do not charge port taxes or fees, and they do not tax hand pays. So they're the only one that I know of that does not do that. So that's my recap. I do have another 12 cruises planned so far for 2026, going to Australia, Alaska, Europe, transatlantic, and the Caribbean. So going a little bit of everywhere. Can't wait. So now let's get into some of the challenging things that I ran into that I really didn't necessarily realize at first when I retired so early to focus on cruising. And first off is Mother Nature. So I definitely knew that Mother Nature can have a role in cruising. Everybody knows that. But man, this year I got whopped with a couple of big ones, in that I was at sea during several hurricanes, which definitely made it interesting to be out at sea during that time. And just know that even the best laid plans are going to change when Mother Nature gets in the way. So another one is you have to be flexible in the travel, because I book a lot of back-to-backs to make the most out of my trip planning. And sometimes there's going to be airplane cancellations, there's going to be ship cancellations. I had one happen to me this summer where I was doing 3 cruises, and sure enough, the second cruise that I had planned back to back got canceled because of equipment issues. So I literally was stuck down in Florida for this awkward week, trying to decide what to do before the third cruise happened. So, that you got to be flexible, and that's going to happen a lot. And then probably the most surprising or challenging thing, I should say, is being away from family and friends, especially when hardships happen. I did have that happen, unfortunately, this year, where one of my best friends from childhood, her father passed away, and I was traveling when this all happened. So I wasn't able to be there to support her during this time. I was able to cancel one of my trips and make it back home in time for the funeral, but that's kind of the challenging side, is if you're going to live on a cruise ship 50% of the time, just know that unfortunately there's going to be times where you're going to be out to sea when something tragic happens, or when a family member needs you. So I do make a point to always have the internet plan when I travel, so that way my family and friends can always get a hold of me and talk to me. And especially with my kids, I know they're adults now, but I still want to make sure that if they ever want to reach me, they can. So that's probably, like I said, the hardest thing about making a decision to travel this much, is that you're going to miss some things at home that you otherwise wouldn't. So yeah, so finally the answer is, do I have any regrets about retiring at 58 to live 50% of the time on a cruise ship? Absolutely not. So this has been an amazing experience for me. I have gotten more wonderful memories and life experiences out of doing this, and especially doing it while I'm still young enough that I can really enjoy all these activities and experiences I've had. So here's just a couple of them that I've had over this last year and a half that if I had been working, I never would have had these experiences. So absolutely not. I do not regret it at all. If you're thinking about retiring early to cruise, or just want to cruise more often, here's a few things that I've learned. Number one, don't wait for that perfect time. It doesn't exist. So when you know that financially you're able to retire early, just do it. Don't wait on it, because there's never going to be that perfect time. So, and then next is make sure to always track your expenses. So as you're traveling this heavy, it's important to still keep that awareness of what your total spending is, especially in the casino on the ships. It's very easy to lose track of that. So you want to track your spend, make sure you're staying within your budget, as well as you want to know how many points you're earning on each cruise, because it's those points in the casino that are going to continue to earn you the free future cruise comps. So it's very important to track that. Next, try and explore all the different cruise brands. I like to bounce around, because not only does that help keep a nice variety and change of pace, but also it is getting me on the casino list for all the cruise lines. So now I get offers from everybody, and again, that just is helping me continue to cruise on free cabins. So it's important to bounce around and try some. I have several videos out there on casino status matching. So if you have casino offers from one cruise line, you can status match with the others to get free cabins and to get into their casino program. So it's very easy, and definitely check out some of my videos like this one, and it will tell you step by step how to do it. So, and then next is pay attention to the seasons when you're cruising. I have found, at least for me, that summer times I am much more happier cruising in Alaska than I am in the hot Caribbean. So I've now learned that when I'm doing my travel planning is that in June and July, I'm gonna be in Alaska. So I'm avoiding the Caribbean during those months. So, but again, that's me and I'm just a wimp in the heat. So next would be make sure to build some rest days in your traveling, because even even doing something like cruising, you can get tired of it. So it's important to build in those break days. So after a long stretch of cruising, make sure to build some time back home to kind of, break things up and kind of get you psyched up for the next trip. So I found that probably about 3 weeks is my magic number, that after 3 weeks, I need to come back home and be back home for a little bit. And then I go back out and I'm eager and ready to go back. So that way it keeps it fresh and I don't get burned out on either. It's always a good break for me. And then last is you'll never get these years back. So the older we get, the reality is we have a more limited number of years that we're going to physically be able to travel at the level that we want to. So just remember that, don't wait too long, because you might not get to have the life experiences that you had hoped for. With my husband retiring, we plan to have many, many new life experiences. So that's the real talk of if I regret retiring early, which obviously I don't. So if you found this helpful at all or would like to have more cruising tips, tricks, hacks, casino comps, I do a lot of casino challenges, please subscribe to my channel. I just started it this year, so I'm still kind of new at this, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So please make sure to comment down below if you have any questions, or if there's any other things that you would like me to do videos on. I'll be happy to take that advice. So thanks a lot.